Today, we are opening up the playbook for narcissistic relationships. The idea here isn't just to list a bunch of behaviors, but to really give you a new way to understand what can be a super confusing and painful experience. It's all about finding some clarity.
You know that feeling, right? Where you're just talking in circles and it feels like logic doesn't even apply anymore? The goalposts just keep moving. You walk away feeling completely drained, totally confused, and convinced you've lost, even when you know you were right. Well, that's a really common experience, and believe me, there's a reason for it.
And this is where you have to flip your whole understanding of what an argument is. See, for a narcissist, a fight isn't about two people trying to find the truth or reach an understanding. Nope, it's a game. And the whole point is to pull you in, control the rules, and make sure that in the end, you're the one who loses control. So here's how we're going to break this down. We're going to walk through 5 key parts of their playbook. First, we'll look at why the argument itself is a trap. Then, we'll see how your absolute best qualities are turned into targets. After that, we'll get into the role they expect you to play, the fact that it's a relationship of one, and finally, we'll unpack this really strange paradox behind their jealousy.
All right, let's start with the argument itself. I want you to stop thinking of it as a conversation. Instead, picture it as a pit of quicksand they've dug just for you. Their only goal is to trick you into stepping right into it.
And here's the thing. The second you engage on their terms, when you start trying to justify yourself or explain your side or defend your actions, you've already lost your footing. You're now playing their game in their sandbox. And the more you struggle to prove your point, the deeper and deeper you sink under their control.
But make no mistake, these attacks aren't just random outbursts. It's a very calculated strategy. And it all starts with them doing a deep dive analysis of who you are, both your best qualities and, your vulnerabilities too. It's like they keep a secret mental list on you. Your strengths, your kindness, your intelligence, your resilience. They don't admire those things. They see them as threats that need to be systematically taken down and weakened. And your weaknesses? Well, those are carefully noted down as the perfect places to poke and prod to get control over you.
Okay, this brings us to a really difficult thing to wrap your head around, but it's so important. It's about your role in the relationship. To really understand why they do what they do, you have to understand how they see you.
Now, that sounds incredibly harsh, I know, but it is essential to grasp. This is not a partnership of equals. In their world, your main job is to serve their needs, their ambitions.
So what does that look like in your actual life? Well, it means your dreams, your career, your personal growth, all of that is only okay as long as it helps the narcissist's own goals. The moment your success doesn't directly benefit them, it becomes useless, or worse, a threat. And all of this leads to a pretty stark conclusion. You are never, ever going to reach a point of mutual understanding. It's just not possible. You're playing 2 completely different games with 2 different sets of rules. It's a relationship of one, for one person.
And this whole manipulative act, it's not just for you. To keep their image and control intact, they're juggling 3 different social circles at all times. Their legitimate relationships, like family, their illegitimate or secret ones, and then this wider circle of acquaintances. And trust me, they play a different part in every single one.
That feeling of being dehumanized, it's very real. You might have even been called iron-willed or cold, but that's not a compliment. It's a criticism, because you're not reacting to their games the way they want. In their mind, if you don't have a big emotional response, you're just a difficult object that they can't easily manipulate.
And think about this for a second. When you finally get angry, when you raise your voice, and they tell you to calm down or lower your voice, what's really going on there? It has nothing to do with being concerned for your feelings. It's pure panic. They're terrified that someone else might hear, that their carefully built image is about to crumble, and that people will question who they really are.
And finally, let's talk about the engine that drives so much of this destructive behavior. It all comes down to a really deep, corrosive jealousy, but it works in a very backward, paradoxical way.
I want you to think about the qualities in you that they attack the most. Your confidence, your friendships, your talents. There is a reason they focus all their energy on those specific things.
And here it is. Here's the paradox. The very same qualities they are trying so hard to undermine and destroy in you are the exact same things that drew them to you in the first place. They're the qualities that sparked their envy. They're literally trying to put out the light in you that they wish they had themselves.
Look, understanding these dynamics isn't about pointing fingers or assigning blame. It's about getting clear. It's about finally seeing the game board for what it really is.
Because once you can see the playbook, you're not an unwitting player anymore, and you get to decide what your next move is.